The last type of field we're going to add to here is going to be in the design view. It's going to be a calculated field. So what's cool is you can actually add a field that does a calculation and spits out the result for every single record. So we can do this where we are going to figure out the total amount that this person is working with, not just how much they have paid and how much is due, but how much revenue are we supposed to receive from this client overall. So we're going to right click right above on contract hours year to date and insert a new row. We're going to go ahead and title this total amount. And in the drop down menu of the data type, you're going to see that one of the options is to do a calculated field. The calculated field is going to allow you to then put in an expression where you can calculate options. And it shows an example up here where it says like examples of expressions include field 1 plus field 2. And notice that the fields are listed in these square brackets. This is important. And this is where your Excel information kind of comes into play. But if you're pulling from the client table, it's going to give you the different categories you can pull from or the different fields. And if I double click on amount paid, for instance, it's going to pop that up in there. And then I can just type a plus sign and I can add it to current due. And it's going to put the brackets around it. Now, what's different about this from Excel is I don't need an equal sign. I don't need any of those kinds of things, but it is using field names and it is creating an equation. So clicking OK, it's then going to go, if I go back into data sheet view and save the table, it's going to automatically do the math for us, and it's going to do it for every record. And even if we added in a new record, it would just automatically update with all that information and create that calculated field. I think it's important to note as well, and this is going to come back later on, when we made this calculated field and we were looking at the actual calculation of amount paid plus current due with the square brackets, we can do the same type of thing in a query or in a form. And so you need to keep in mind that syntax, the syntax of it using the square brackets, syntax being the rules of how it's written, using the square brackets and being able to create those equations. So it's important to note that you can quickly create calculations, not just in a table, but in queries and other locations as well. I'm going to go ahead and close my client table at this point because we're going to go ahead and edit the data really quickly using some really cool options.